There is so much CC, there are so many bodies to put in front of Ghost right now that it is going to be very hard for the low range of Live Sandbox's composition to fight into it. However, they have a lot of champions that very much like it when there's a lot of bodies and a lot of clumping up. It's just whether you can get out of it. We'll see whether this draft is going to do it as we hop onto the Rift for game number 1. No extendo pauses or anything like that this time around, because he's certainly capitalized on it very, very effectively. Dread going to go home after a very quick full clear. Now going to actually canter his way out. Yeah, Dove in a bit of trouble here as Kana still, of course, with the heal available, so that was not even a little bit close. As BDD was rotating up. Nice little fear there onto Croco, just to make sure that the Xin Zhao was nowhere near as here. Is a bit of an engage on the bottom side. Flame Chompers come in as Ice going to get zapped. Peter lit on fire. Doesn't have the ignite, and he is just dead. 2v2 kill for Live Sandbox, capitalizing on Peter's earlier mistake.
Really nicely done there by the Live Sandbox bot lane. When are we going to learn? Hecarim is going to be top. You know he's there. He does the same pathing. It's not new information. Can we stop falling for exactly the same gank?
Croco started up the Drake. That is a dredge line to land as Peter may not have wanted to. As KO goes in, he's got the Eclipse running. Dread is in the vicinity as Closer's going to Realm Warp his way forward, and Dread finds himself a great ulti. Croco trying to get out of there. Dread's going to be the first one to die as BDD gets himself down. Shadow Surge comes in, and BDD trying to clean this one up. Ice going to go down. The reset's not going to land, but Ghost is excited. Can he actually get down here and make this one work? As Closer moved forward, Q not going to connect as the zap also goes wide. Nongshim, I think, are just going to tidy up this minion wave and move on.
I think it was an MVP Chompers there because
Mega Death Rocket grabs the kill. The execute damage very high. Thought that might have been a little bit closer as Ghost 2-0-2 now on the Jinx.
To find a beautiful, beautiful Shadow Surge. Picks up multiple people. Flash available.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate there. Because he just hit 6 at the right time.
Waves goodbye. Oh, man.
But not only that, Peter also a little bit quicker on the roam. And that, in the end, is going to be enough as Kana.
Yeah, Ignite goes down. That's going to be in trade for the ultimate as the Needlework very close to coming back up again.
I think that if you look at the itemization, could have also gone for the Essence Reaver build that we've seen.
Peter?
Peter is dead.
Okay. Goodbye, Peter.
Not having the greatest of times, unfortunately, Peter. It will be great as Dove.
Yeah, Dread looking for it. This horse is running real quick as, yeah, Gwen not quite immune this time around. Pretty scared, though, as we can see. Dove going to be burning down, and Kana does have the ulti available, so he will survive. Dread not going to be as lucky, though, as the Realm Warp does get closer towards that top side and will deliver Croco there so that he can help lock down that kill. And Kana even able to grab that minion wave. True Shot Barrage, let's see whether it can grab it. Oh, Kana barely out of the way of that one.
They are clearly very hesitant to do so.
Yeah.
And in the previous situation, yeah, it's because Dove doesn't have TP, but it's also not a shocker as Kana.
Yeah, Kana is just diving on top. He does have the ulti available as there's the spinning slash, understands that he probably is only going to have a hope of going 1-for-1 and isn't even going to be able to do that. Super Mega Death Rocket, though, might give him an assist. We'll see how this one goes. Alright, he's going to fear some minions, decides he wants to Shadow Surge his way out. Let's see whether this is going to work as he flashes to get away. Couple of flashes, and that's going to be the end of the Vex. Nongshim unable to get there in time, as True Shot Barrage is going to soften up Peter just a little bit there, but good kill. Nongshim, as Live Sandbox now, we'll see what they're going to be able to pick up for it. Yeah, and Live Sandbox not even checking it at the moment. Let's see whether they do throw down a blue trinket in there. True Shot Barrage is what is going to check it out, and that's not going to actually find any damage. They do now have the bad news that this is going down, but Peter, he's playing defense, is going to lock up Croco, and actually there's a response. The Xin Zhao is going to go down. It's Baron, and it's even more. This is cake and eating it too, and then having a surprise party. It's just everything that Nongshim wanted. More Shadow Surges for BDD, and that is called instant revenge for the Vex from the mid lane. And what more can Nongshim get from this one?
Ooh, and I'm normally a really big fan of the Frozen Heart. I think it's a really good item, especially into Tryndamere, into Jinx. But I much rather would have seen it on the Rise. As opposed to Ezreal, I think in this scenario, as Ezreal, it's pivotal that you deal as much damage as possible so that your poke is actually as relevant as it can be. And I think a Surreal does would have gone a long way towards making some of your damage stick onto a lot of the tankier members. Peter, Dread, all going to take a lot more hurt if you have that item as opposed to something that will give you more survivability, but I think what you need is Croco.
Yeah, we're going to go for it. Here's the big play. Realm Warp coming on forward, but the fear is immediately there. Croco has a big old shield, but it was Ghost that had challenged him, and he's not going to win that battle. It's a double kill already. Make it a triple, as now Ice is trying to deal with these minions. Dread is just cantering like the magnificent stallion that he is, and it's another kill here for Ghost. It's the Quadra. Make it the pentakill as Ghost picks it up after the stopwatch, and Nongshim feeling way better now off the back of their world champion.
And this is the Nongshim that we haven't seen for a while, that we knew from the beginning that was here, showing up tonight here at Law Park. Really, really nice game. Not that well known yet.
He didn't have the greatest of experiences
no,
either.
No.
I wonder who's going to get the POG for this one.
I mean, I actually didn't vote for Ghost. I know, even though we got the Penta.
You're becoming a bit of a fan of being that lone wolf.
No, I honestly, I think that the most pivotal play both times was made by BDD. I gotta say, I'm looking at the Sandbox comp, and I'm not feeling great. This is a short-range comp into Alistair and Syndra and Jinx.
Yeah.
Get you the early game lead that you so desperately need.
Yeah, sorry, actually, conceding lane's not what I really meant. It's like conceding bottom side supremacy. Now is Closer going to flash out of the way of BDD, but now Croco's rotating in. He managed to get in there, but it's a good stun. And that's the flash forward. Gets the knock up. BDD's going to flash, but there's the Q. Closer trying to make this one work, and it is going to happen. The Audacious Charge comes out in the end. Takes a couple of flashes, but it is still going to work out. As Canna lights Dove on fire. Dove is going to be able to walk this one off towards his turret. Oh. Yeah, the needlework's coming out, but now Canna still looking for a little bit more. Does still have the ulti available, and the Ignite will be traded back. Yeah, ulti was actually popped as well, as now Croco is going to be spotted. Oh dear.
Doesn't know.
This is a very scary horse.
Yeah, smite.
Yeah, and is going to be able to smite away the Gromp as well, so that means that Croco's not going to get that health back. Into the brush he goes, but Dove is actually rotating around. Devastating Charge comes in. Croco's in trouble, but they just snip him up, and Dove gets there right in the nick of time. And Liv Sandbox start this off 2-0. A great start. He's going to blast cone his way in here. Solar Flare going to connect. That's double stuns as Kale makes his way in. There's the curtain call. BDD try to lay down the damage before he dies. Does do a fair bit of work there as the Onslaught of Shadows comes in. Croco soaking so much. But a couple of kills for Nongshim, and the Realm Warp is defensive.
When will this happen, though?
Well, right now, Ice is in a little bit of trouble, taking a lot of rockets to the head as the Captive Audience and Deadly Flourish aren't going to connect. And now Peter flashing on forward, and Dread, he can just run him down. There is absolutely no way that Ice can do anything with it out. Okay, never mind. He is going to be burning down as there's the ulti from Dread. Flame Chompers come out yet again, starting to look like one of the most broken abilities in the game with how it's been used recently. That is going to be a successful disengage after the red buff secures the kill. As Tryndamere has made his way in as well, as Peter is just standing on top of Ghost, trying to keep him safe. Dread looking for a flank, and this could be devastating. Stun lands onto Closer. He's actually starting to get pretty low, and the horse is coming. Super Mega Death Rocket will connect onto Croco and Kale, and now they're backing potentially into a Stallion, who will now find his way out of the jungle. Croco immediately is going to ult, as now Canna getting Dove and Closer out of here. As Dread going down relatively low. Ghost playing frontline as the curtains have been called as well. The flash over from Ghost, that will secure it, as now Croco is running for the hills, and the cleanup is here. Ghost grabs a double kill. Was looking for Croco. The zap goes the wrong direction, but that was blind. So you'll take that, and they will make the disengage happen now.
And again, you see the lack of a decisive shot caller for Liv Sandbox, because So many low health bars. Surely one of them will get hit.
We'll take it for now, because there was money inside. Ghost, clearing out a minion wave, as we like to do. We call this K-Rev. But Kale trying to punish. They do manage to find themselves Ghost.
That's
and
the
they will
needles.
tidy him up. That's going to be that. Croco grabs the kill. And now Peter trying to run away. The will looking pretty breakable, though, as that is 4 members of Liv Sandbox piling on top of the cow. And Dread is seen. Canna looking to try and take this tower, but that is consolation prize at best. And it looks like...
I see the pings!
Yeah, they're running
They're
towards
doing
that
it!
Baron. They might actually.
Are they going to start it?
Please, please.
Please, Sandbox. They're attacking it.
They are. Okay.
It's happening.
We might be committing. Canna looking like he's committing towards this inner turret, and there is no horse in sight. That is going to be the Baron going over to Liv Sandbox. Just took a little bit of radio voice, and Liv Sandbox did it. That's fantastic. This is what we were asking for. So Mega Death. Oh, scary for a moment. Scary for a moment.
Oh.
We're going to grab a couple of turrets, though. So right now, the Baron power play, not necessarily the most fantastic, but... All right.
Ana.
Yeah, can Canna actually find himself the flank? Really nice turn there from KO to make sure that he's not slowed down. But in goes the horse, looking absolutely glorious, and gets a nice ult towards that backline. Croco, the first one to fall down as the ulti's going to get popped there from Canna. He will survive as well as Peter's trying to tank up the curtain call. Dove taking a lot of damage but goes golden to avoid an oh dear. He probably didn't want to be there as that Realm Warp trolled the heck out of him. Now Dread looking for a re-engage. BDD. Can he find the scatter onto Closer, who is very tanky and full health right now? Canna still lying in wait. That's the flash forward. Scatter comes down as, oh my god, I thought he was going to survive there. The flash forward from Ice will secure it onto BDD. And it means a 2 for 2 in the end, and Liv Sandbox are able to answer.
What kind of radio? Like, if you had a late night radio show, what would it be?
Ooh, actually, there was actually one that I liked. We've got some pseudo action here. We're not going to get baited into the fact that it's everyone diving onto a Tryndamere, but he is going to have to press the ultimate button. And with the Realm Warp, it looks like Canna is going to fall. Ice got a little bit too close. Going to get lit on fire as once again the Rocket's going to get soaked by a teammate. And Liv Sandbox think that it might be time to head towards this Baron. Vision going to be picked up on Dove in this area. And now Ghost going to push out this wave, and we'll see whether BDD is going to teleport forward. I don't think Nongshim feel like they can give this one away. Ice is also very low, but he can fight from a very long way away as the curtains have been called. Liv Sandbox going to turn off the Baron. As now Peter with the Unbreakable Will is just trying to tank this one up. He's not going to be able to, as the Rise is going to be able to grab it in the end. Flash out from Ghost as now BDD trying to get there. It's a big ult. Nice double stun from BDD. Throws out the ulti on the Leona. It's not necessarily the priority target, as now BDD wants to be able to get some damage down. Him and Dread still in amongst this fight as 12 seconds to go, and Canna will be back up again. But of course, absolutely no teleport or anything like that. And Liv Sandbox, they can go back to this Baron.
Oh, this is risky with BDD alive and as strong as he is.
Yeah, Dread's going to be here as well, as Closer is just trying to play defense. This Baron is not fast by any means. And BDD at full health, they will need to turn to try and deal with him before he does just land enough orbs to kill him.
What?
He just stands in the mist and dies. Oh no, BDD now trying to kite this one out as Closer with a big old shield is going to be able to stop BDD from stopping this Baron. And Liv Sandbox, I think they've done it.
They get the Baron.
And they get out. That's what we're trying to hope for, as yep, Closer is going to fully complete the heist.
No R being pressed, of course, with the Baron recalls, and
well, he is now up towards this top side. He does have the Baron buff available, and he's still, you know, a Gwen with 5.5 items. So it's still good. Still, you know, it's very strong. Very strong.
Oh, I get it. Maybe he didn't have gold, and he's going to sell. He's going to sell the orb and buy a rod, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Atlas?
Maybe. That could definitely be the case.
Atlas?
Canna is also splitting on the bottom side, as you guys can see. On your screen, Super Mega Death Rocket and do nothing. Solar Flare also goes wide as they're going to trade maybe inhibitor for inhibitor, but there is also one down on the bottom side as well as they're looking to try and back away. Is the Trinimir going to be able to do this by himself? This is just absurd. He's got a minion wave, the rest of Nongshim just trying to stop the back.
That's no Baron recall.
He has to get rid of super minions, remember, as now Dread has engaged. He will go down, but it's all just a cunning ruse. They need to try and stop this. But now Croco trying to engage. Ghost is trying to fight this one out. Dove goes into the mist as now Kale's trying to run away. Ghost is going to fall though as the gameplay button is pressed and BDD. The scatter is brilliant and that will save it. Canner is also still alive, but he was not able to get any extra damage. And this game has become far more interesting now. And Nongshim, they are going to move in, but they'll never be able to get there in time. It will be the Drake secured, and that is going to be the Soul as Ghost. We'll see whether he can stay in a good position as Canna looking for ice. He takes so much damage, but the Solar Flare is absolutely fantastic. In the meantime, Ghost is trying to get the autos off, but it is not going to work. The curtain has been called, and the curtain will be drawn for Nongshim in this game as Liv Sandbox are going to say, you guys can do whatever the heck you want. We're going to go and destroy your base.
Ghost trying to kill the wave here. Think you'd rather back, completely honest? I don't know about that wave. There's minions in your base. Doesn't really matter. Everyone now making their way over. 5 versus 2. Surely undefendable here for Nongshim.
Yep, the mist is going to go up, and that means that these towers are going to fall down. Ghost now trying to do some damage where he can, but the flash forward from Closer. That's a decent cleanse there from Ghost as well as the zap goes down, but so does the Nexus.
4 Mountain Drakes on Tank Rise, Leona, and Tank Zinzao.
This goal graph is very strange. I'm getting to 34 minutes, 35 minutes.
And it's a Fiora. It's like, can't be done. Not a possibility. So if that Fiora ever gets ahead, then it becomes so hard for Nongshim to win. So, Croco.
Spending too much time playing it recently, but sometimes you put in enough games for it to come back like riding a bike. Let's see whether it does for Dove here. As you can see him positioned in that mid lane. Welcome back, my friend.
Benefit of him winning the early levels, he gets the wave shoving into him. Doesn't need to take any risk whatsoever. Oh boy.
Yeah, here comes Dread. Ice already flashed and he will be taken down. That is the horse that grabs the kill, and this will mean that snowball is starting early. Nongshim getting off on the right foot for the first time this series.
Nicely done there by Dread. And this is the benefit of having the knowledge that...
It's going to mean that Dove is going to be absolutely fine here. Kind of taking a fair bit of damage, but does have Q at the ready and fully stacked up on that rage, so he'll be absolutely fine. Still spinning forward, Riposte is going to do a little bit here as the Ghost is actually popped to get a little bit of a slow here, but level 5 is going to be gained by Canna a little bit earlier. And Closer's still going to be very happy about the situation, right?
Oh,
starting to bully.
Gotta know this one is coming Closer, but he used his Riposte.
Yeah, Dread now going to make his way in. There's the devastating charge. See whether Closer gets out. Yeah, lunge. It's not too bad. And there's the Riposte. And Nongshim just going to get the shove and look to give Canna a decent recall timing off the back of it.
Interestingly enough, Ice not really falling behind, and if Croco can find a 1v1, he will be very, very happy. That is, of course, where you excel as Xin. I love this invade.
Ooh, unseen right now. And now Dread's going to get the bad news. See whether he can get a bunch of his health back as BDD is rocketing towards Croco. He's going to have to flash. Dove turns up as well as Croco now trying to turn it. Not going to find the dark matter, but it does not matter at all. That was an unintentional little repeat of the word, but still, that is going to be the second kill for Nongshim at the beginning. A little bit of over-aggression from Croco.
Yeah. That kind of implied that they're out of it, which that's obviously way too early. It's definitely a nice little lead that they've built for themselves. And the key thing here, again, is to make sure that top side goes well. Because if Closer falls behind and can't win a 1v1, they're in trouble as Ice.
Yeah, Croco was lying in wait, and it looks like Nongshim did not care whatsoever. Bit of a drive-by here from Dread is now 3 versus 2. Kale still diving forward. They're not going to go for anything.
I can't do anything about it.
Well, here's the Angry Horse once again. He's going to find the Samurai and push him back. That's the baby cage that will deny Dove any entrance towards his own jungle, and there is a Rakan here as well. Another grand entrance is fantastic. This time BDD picks up the kill, 4-0 in favor of Nongshim. Flash down on Dove, not able to grab the kill. But it was Peter making his way back down towards the bottom side. Abyssal Dive comes in here as Kale by himself does get the lick, but there's low-range guns on Ice, but the Devour going to be there, and Ghost now going to be in no man's land. Peter doesn't get there early enough. BDD is here, though. We'll see whether they manage to actually lock this down. Ice and Kale looks like they are going to make their way out as BDD, no mana. Of course, being two main ones.
Oh, Rakan coming as well.
Yep, Dread is going to turn up. Let's see whether this bait is actually going to be effective as the Grand Challenge has been issued and does get the healing. Kana trying to get his way out, but that's the fear. That's the knock-up, and Croco just going to have to watch as his top lane gets eviscerated. And now this minion wave will also get crashed. So not exactly great news. Good little knock-up there as Dread is going to press his W, get a whole bunch of his health back, and maybe Croco is going to have to flash as well, and he is going to do so. Dove now moving on over towards this top side. They are funneling in one by one. Let's see whether this is actually going to work as Croco has to ult. Kale gets in as well, but Nongshim, they have managed to take exactly what they wanted.
And honestly, thus far, the game unironically petered it. In mid lane, absolutely nothing is happening. I think BDD is sitting on about 130, 140 stacks. Last time I checked, it was around 100.
Yep. Definitely feeling pretty good as this Viger. Closer continuing to have some control in the push. Getting things working as the lunge starting to do a fair bit of damage. Grand Challenge is going to come through here as let's see whether Closer can do it. Finds the riposte, but it does not work. Press the R button, right-click him, and Kana is going to be able to walk away with the solo kill. 2-0 now for the Tryndamere, and this top lane has all of a sudden become virtually impossible. Ghost is going to be scaling up alongside this Tryndamere.
That's a clean build. I saw that. Damn, someone knows what. Hold on.
Okay, Kale going to try and Abyssal Dive his way out. Dread gets on top of him anyway, though, and BDD will lock down that kill. Moonlight Vigil comes down. That's with Infernum as well for a fair bit of AoE damage, but honestly, we're shrugging this one off right now as Nongshim just walk away with some catfish for dinner.
Why wouldn't you grab them all? Why did you go for Infernum? You have no items. That all does nothing. Oh, Atlas,
You're having a rough
time.
time.
I'm having a rough time. You're delirious with exhaustion. I'm delirious, like, there's all these pent up.
And then he flashed.
Because that's not his... Oh,
okay, here we are, seeing Eugens once again. The wall not quite large enough, however, Croco, he's got a big spear. Now looking to try and lock him down under the turret is Peter, but he's not going to be able to do so. BDD comes on in. That's a great stun to come through as now Kana's going to join the party. That is Dove going down. Kana kind of wants more, but... Undying Rage not going to save you forever as Baby Cage. That was actually very close there from BDD. Quite enjoying this guy's Viger thus far.
I was about, if he goes Anathema's Chainsail, or if he goes Tank Vega from here on out, like...
Get out of here. Kana still lying in wait though. Does he go for
Dove is coming.
Yep, Ghost comes out as Kana. Can he stop these weak points from going off? The answer is no. As there is Dove, finds the ulti, now he's going to turn it, manages to find the 1-for-1. Closer does finish it off in the end. Plus, the assist does mean that it is theoretically a net gold gain for Liv Sandbox.
Desperately trying.
Doesn't have a flash, but he can, of course, Wind Becomes Lightning and Audacious Charge, try and get himself in there. Red wrapping around. They are going to jump off this because they just want the kills. Kyle, oh dear, out of position. Grand entrance, Baby Cage, all of the things. And Nongshim are going to be able to easily grab themselves some more seafood. Closer was trying to wrap around, and Dread, yeah, I don't think you're ever going to be able to run away from the horse. However, you can fight him, so Nongshim can't catch up. And they are going to start this one up again. Rinse and repeat here.
Don't let it come down to a smite fight, please.
Yeah, we are going to put down the Baby Cage. Okay, Peter is just going to try and get them out of the way. The quickness is absolutely fantastic. As into the pit goes Croco. That was way too close, Nongshim. But they are still going to be able to get the smite. And Croco does go down inside the pit. But man, that was still a 50-50. And so that is a bit close for comfort there for Nongshim fans as Grand Challenge is executed, or issued, sorry, onto the horse. Kana is now being bullied out. Possibly going to go for a reset before getting these waves all pushed up with their newly found Baron buff.
Victory for them. And again, we've been having a little bit of fun because the way that these games have transpired has been somewhat comedic, but this is a really big match for Nongshim. This team should be in playoffs.
This takes them from 9th to 7th, remember? And very, very close to the other two as well, as Closer is going to go golden. Canna hasn't pressed his R button just yet and does manage to pick up the kill in the end. Pressing Q gives him a whole host of his health back, and that's the solo kill. This is what we said was a back-breaking issue for Liv Sandbox. The fact that Closer does not win the matchup at this stage is, you know, it's going to add to all of their other problems that they were having. And that is going to be Infernal Soul, and that will add to it as well. Good stuff. As Peter is just going to knock up Croco. He's going to get devoured, but that is devour onto the jungler, which is absolutely not what you want to do. The Zinni soldiers are going to be there as Dread at a stopwatch. Closer is now taking a lot of damage. Ice is down to his GA, and Ghost is excited. That's a triple kill. Make it not quite the quadra, as both of the solo laners are going to grab some as well. So we do not have the Elder. I was denied. But now Nongshim are just going to walk it up the mid lane and end this game.
No Elder flip! It's a win! I'll take it!
I'm so sad. I really felt like we were heading in that direction.
Me too, buddy. All in all, Nongshim Red Force, they take their time, but with a game as opponent as this, you can't fault them. An absolutely pivotal step towards the rebuilding and reclimbing of a team that has suffered, maybe more than any other team, of the circumstances that are plaguing really the entire world right now.
Not exactly a linear goal graph. It was a goal graph that kind of stopped doing anything for approximately 15 minutes. And then started moving up again.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun for the POG interview translation, joined by Ghost and Kana from Nongshim Red Force. Congratulations! It was a very long losing streak, but it has come to an end with this victory. How do you feel, Ghost? Seriously? It's been so long since I had this kind of a long losing streak, so it was definitely so hard. But I knew one day we'll be able to find a breakthrough, but the process was definitely so difficult. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a huge moral boost for us because we just ended our losing streak, and I hope this is a start of our winning streak. Ghost, this is your first POG. How do you feel? Yeah, I've never imagined that I would win a POG. In fact, I was just focusing on winning. I mean, I was so desperate for this victory, not my first POG. However, you are able to, get a pentakill, get the POG, and you have so far earned 5 pentakills, and also in the LCK only 3 pentakills. How are you just so good at it? There are some champions that are really good at it, Jinx, Tristana, some of their resets or some buff coming in after picking up kills. And also my teammates always help me to get the penta. Kana, what do you think about that? In the end, to be honest, before he got the penta, the opponent used the stopwatch. So I was like fighting myself to not steal that kill. And today, Nongshim was able to get a victory after some of the hardships. You guys had some role swaps and some new rosters, call ups and downs. So what did you focus on in order to stop the losing streak? Well, we had a lot of talks and communication, and we, that's a long way to go, So we just wanted to work on our fundamentals, focus on the basics, like we're going back to the starting line. I hope this could be a great stepping stone for Nongshim Red Force. And Ghost, you played Jinx for 3 games in a row. This champion has been on a 10-game winning streak so far. So what do you think of this pick and the priority? Whether she's a blind pick or a pick coming in after, she's just so good, and she's just does a great job in any circumstances. And you told Peter, good job, Peter. So tell us about your teamwork with Peter. Peter, He's a like a one of a kind support. You know, he's really good, but he's really bad. You know, do you get it? I mean, yeah, he's so talented, but he doesn't have a long career relatively. So he doesn't have a lot of knowledge about macro, map play. So yeah, we're working on it. And I'm trying my best to, you know, teach him a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm doing my best. Any message over to the Peter? Fighting, Peter. We've got this. And also in game 3, we actually had some swap happening from Leap Sandbox. Dove was playing Azir on mid lane and Closer was playing Fiora on top. Did you see that coming? You know? Before the 20-second mark of the swap phase, you know, we didn't really expect it, but I did think that this was a very clever strategy. I was like trying to get prepared for the matchup, you know, trying to read what's happening, and my teammates were like, it was like, is that a bug? Is that a bug? We were like so confused. So you got to play Closer on the top lane, and you were able to own the top lane. Closer used to be your teammate, so how was that matchup? You know, it was really fun to play against Closer. It was something new. You know, I don't think he should play top, for sure. What did BDD say? Because he got to play against Azir, one of his signature picks. At first, we thought it was a swap bug, for sure. And then we remember that Dove was so good at Azir back in the days. So we were like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he might be playing Azir. And on the Korean analyst desk, we had a matchup between Tryndamere and Fiora Stat, and Fiora actually was in favor, but you were able to break that record. So could you break down the matchup on the top lane? It all comes down to the mechanics, but still, yeah, Tryndamere is the weaker side, but you have to dodge the, you know, you have to stop Fiora from getting her passive stacks. But there is one point where you can actually turn it around, and you have to capitalize on that. And Dread also played Hecarim for 3 games in a row. Even though he didn't get any POG, he was performing so well. So was that something he was preparing until now? I mean, he used to play a lot of Hecarim and other peaks. And last time we also used Hecarim in the LCK, but we kind of had wrong plan and directions to play with that pick, so we wanted to kind of round out our plan and strategy in order to get the best value out of Hecarim pick. And Ghost, in the end, you said LCK champion, Nongshim Red Force. So how far can Nongshim can go? That wasn't me, that was Kwana, in fact, I think. If we can get 10 match winning streak, it would be awesome. I think we have overcome all of the hardships so far. So if we can, you know, come back with stronger teamwork, I think we can make it to the playoffs. I'm also wishing the best of luck for Nongshim Red Force remaining matches. And your next opponent will be Kwangdong Freaks. You really need to get your revenge on them of the first round robin. The first round, even though we did fall to Kwangdong, I wasn't playing at the ADC, so this time we will get our revenge. Yeah, I also, you know, had to quarantine at that time, so I wasn't able to play on stage. So our challenges players had to just play that. I felt so bad. They were just forced to play on stage that day. So this time around, this is our turn to get our revenge. And any last message for the fans? I'm pretty sure, you know, fans also had the same kind of hardship throughout the losing streak, but I still appreciate the support, and I hope this could be a great start for our, you know, winning streak. And also, I heard BDD's birthday is around the corner. Any birthday wishes for him? Hey BDD, thank you for always playing so well. And happy birthday!
감사합니다. 기분 굉장히 좋으실 것 같아요.
This will be the end of the interview from Kana Ghost, and I'm gonna throw it back to the caster's desk. Thank you.